26 years have passed since the launch of Red and Blue version. During this time, not only Pokemon but also numerous trainers have appeared. Although most of the focus tends to be on the Pokemon, did you know that the trainers are very attractive as well? On a personal note, I was recently researching the Sword Shield version of Bee and found out that she actually likes sweets, which made me feel closer to her than ever. There are surely many other backstories for other trainers as well. Accordingly, in this report, we have examined the unique backstories of trainers appearing in Pokemon. In this article, we will introduce 10 unique trainers and others, so please take your time and enjoy. First is Brock, who appears in the Red and Blue version. Brock is the gym leader of Pewter City and mainly uses Rock-type Pokemon. In the early anime, he travels with the main character Ash, so those who watch the anime may have a stronger image of Brock. What kind of image do you have of him? I imagine that he is always smiling and friendly to both Pokemon and people. You may also have the impression that he has a weakness for beautiful women like Nurse Joy or Officer Jenny, and is quick to pick up on them. However, the setting of Brock in the game is different. In fact, Brock is serious, hard-headed, and rarely smiles. Some people may be surprised to know that Brock, a famous pickup artist, has a setting like that. In addition, there is also a setting in which he rarely laughs, but once he starts laughing, he can't stop. It is almost as if the Brock of the game and the anime are two different people. But, in the post-anime versions, such as the Gold and Silver versions, Brock's mannerisms are a bit softer, perhaps due to the influence of the anime. This is a clear example of how the setting of the anime has been re-imported into the game. Also, in the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee version, Brock reveals that he wants to be a Pokemon breeder, just like in the anime. This too would be completely influenced by the anime. However, in subsequent animations, Brock has stated that he eventually wants to become a Pokemon doctor. So when Brock appears in future games, a setting where he is aiming to become a Pokemon doctor may be added. It will be fun to see these changes in trainers because of the long history of Pokemon. By the way, do you know that Brock's Lady Radar has a certain feature? Brock's Lady Radar has a hidden feature: it does not react to bad guys. So, if Brock's radar does not respond to a beautiful lady, you should pay attention to the possibility that she is a bad guy. Next up is Giovanni, the boss of Team Rocket. Giovanni believes that all Pokemon exist for Team Rocket and are merely tools for making money. Even within Team Rocket, Giovanni has a completely different view from that of Jesse and James, who value Pokemon. Giovanni is also a gym leader in Viridian City and mainly uses ground-type Pokemon. Other than that, Giovanni has a backstory, and in fact, the main character's rival in the Gold and Silver version is later revealed to be Giovanni's son. Giovanni's son does not think well of Team Rocket, so they do not operate as Team Rocket. However, in the beginning, he may have been a little like his father Giovanni, as he is portrayed as only seeing Pokemon as tools to win Pokemon battles, such as taking Pokemon from the lab and being indifferent to weaker Pokemon. However, the rival has come to care for his Pokemon after battles with the main character and other trainers, and the fact that he has a Crobat in his possession, which evolves through nostalgia, shows his change of heart. Next is Claire, who appears in Gold and Silver. Claire is the gym leader of Blackthorn City. She seems to be a water-type gym leader because of her light blue outfit, but she mainly uses dragon-type Pokemon. What is interesting is Claire's fashion. Claire's fashion sense is mentioned in the game, and it seems that Claire is actually being teased quite a bit, with the main character's rival calling her a funny-looking guy and fellow gym leaders Erica and Jasmine saying she is embarrassing. Although the cape is a distinctive feature of Claire's clothing, it is actually said that in the Pokemon world, the cape is the formal attire of dragon users, and that is why Claire wears a cape. However, not so many dragon users other than Claire wear capes. For example, Raihan, who appears in the Sword Shield version, does not wear a cape. Another Dragon Master who wears a cape is Lance, who appears in Red and Blue, Gold and Silver, and other games. In fact, both Claire and Lance are cousins from a family that is well known as Dragon Wielders. They are both proud to be Dragon Wielders, which is probably why they wear capes as their formal dress. By the way, Lance is better at battles than Claire, and when the main player defeats Claire in the game, a resident of Blackthorn City says, "This is the first time I've seen Claire defeated by anyone other than Lance." It is very nice that the cousins are getting stronger through friendly competition. Next up is Jasmine, who appears in Gold and Silver. She is the gym leader of Olivine City and mainly uses Steel-type Pokemon. The gap between her cute appearance and her cool Steel-type Pokemon has probably attracted many fans. Although Jasmine is now a Steel-type gym leader, she originally used Rock-type Pokemon such as Onix. She also has a backstory that she is a glutton despite her slender figure. The more you know about Jasmine, the more you will be fascinated by her gaps. Incidentally, Jasmine also participated in the contest. The reason for this is that Whitney, who is also a gym leader in the Johto region, told her that she was too plain. In response to Whitney's words, she started entering contests in order to acquire something a little more glamorous. Jasmine's gap and honesty are even more fascinating to us. Next up is Faulkner, who appears in the Diamond Pearl version. Faulkner is the gym leader of Sunyshore City and mainly uses electric-type Pokemon. Faulkner is quite the modification fanatic, and once caused a power outage in the city because of his gym modifications. What's more, because of this obsession with modification, he refused the Elite Four's invitation to join the team. When he was asked to join the Elite Four, he was also prohibited from remodeling his room. However, Faulkner could not stand this and turned down the offer to join the Elite Four. His obsession is also evident in his Pokemon type, and he has a strong preference for electric-type Pokemon. He has a strong attachment to the Thunderbolt attack. It is said that the reason is because it was the skill he used when he got his first gym badge, or because he fell in love with the coolness of the Thunderbolt he used for the first time after becoming a gym leader. However, Faulkner has surprisingly few Pokemon in his possession that have learned the all-important Thunderbolt, a contradiction. While the handholds and technique configurations differ from series to series, in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, only Ambipom in the gym battle remembers Thunderbolt. It is a strange setup, why not stick to the most important part? Next up is Cynthia, who appears in Diamond Pearl. Cynthia is the champion of the Sinnoh region and is quite formidable, using various types of Pokemon such as Spiritomb, Lucario, and Garchomp. Not only that, but she is a smart person as she is an archaeologist by profession, and despite her young age, she is already a well-known figure in the academic community. She is also respected by her colleague and gym leader Lenora, who appears in the black-white version, even though Cynthia is younger than her. But Cynthia also has a drawback. That is, Cynthia is not very good at tidying up, and her room is littered with research materials. Perhaps this is why Cynthia never gives people her home address. Knowing this gap, many fans have come to like Cynthia even more. Those who did not know her may have thought that she was a cool-looking person who was hard to approach, but they may have felt closer to her at once. In her private life, Cynthia is also somewhat childish. There are descriptions of her taking many of her swimsuits from home to other people's vacation homes and wondering which swimsuit to wear, or playing in the ocean while ignoring her research. It is because she never forgets such a pure heart that she is able to be a great trainer and a wonderful researcher. However, battles are serious business. In Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, both the composition of her hand and her possessions are quite strong, so you should challenge her with care. Next up is Alessa, who appears in Black White. Alessa is the gym leader of Nimbasa City and mainly uses electric-type Pokemon. Alessa is a model by profession, and her design motif is said to be android. Because of the image of fashion models being expressionless, it is said that android, which does not change its expression, was chosen as the motif for the design. The headphones on the head were also added to give it a robot-like appearance. And Alessa has another appearance, which changes in Black-White version 2, which depicts 2 years after the Black-White version in which she first appears. In Black-White, she had yellow hair and a black and yellow fashion, but in Black-White 2, she has blackish hair and a yellow and emerald green fashion. People often say that they changed their image because of a broken heart, but unfortunately that is not the reason. Alessa's day job is modeling, and the backstory is that she drastically changed her hair color and fashion in order to dress in the way that was popular in the area at that time. In the game, in a conversation with her best friend Skyla, she says that she wants to change her image. From this conversation, it is clear that the reason she changed her hair color and fashion was to change her image. Next up is Skyla, who appeared in Black and White and was mentioned a bit earlier in the description. Skyla is the gym leader of Mistralton City, and mainly uses flying-type Pokemon. While Alessa is a cool beauty, Skyla is an energetic and pretty girl. Skyla is actually a pilot by profession, and is the granddaughter of a legendary aviator who is said to be the best in the Unova region. Ilessa, introduced earlier, is a best friend of hers, and they often train together to fight against electric types, which Skyla's flying types are not very good at. Skyla is such a lovely girl, but in fact, she was originally planned to be a dignified personality trainer. However, there have been many trainers with such a personality in the past, and Lenora, the gym leader in Unova region, has the same characteristics too, so the character was changed to an energetic girl. As a result, Skyla's cute personality and appearance became the talk of the town, and she became a very popular trainer, so this change was a great success. Next up is Wulfric, who appears in the XY version. Wulfric is the gym leader of Snowbell City and mainly uses Ice-type Pokemon. He is a powerful man who wears a tank top even though he uses Ice-type Pokemon and it should be absolutely cold. He wears a jacket, but it almost looks like a decoration. The rest of Wulfric's outfit is pretty simple, but can you see the pendant around his neck? In fact, that pendant has a picture of his family on it. Wulfric is married with 2 children, and that pendant has a nice photo of his wife and 2 children on it. I wonder if some of you may have come to like Wulfric at once. Wulfric also has a tearful personality, as he often cries at movie theaters. Last but not least is Melanie from Sword Shield. She is the gym leader of Serchest and mainly uses Ice-type Pokemon. Despite her charming appearance, she is quite stoic when it comes to battles, and is a Spartan when it comes to teaching others how to battle. She has been a gym leader since she was in her 20s, and her battle skills are among the best in the Galar region. It is the only one undefeated against Raihan, who is considered the strongest in the Galar region Pokemon League. Since Raihan is a rival of the champion Leon, it can be inferred that Raihan's undefeated record means that she is as strong as Leon's. Melanie is the mother of Gordy, who is also a gym leader in the Galar region. She is an extraordinary person who is a gym leader while raising her children and maintaining top-class performance in the Galar region. By the way, her son Gordy, despite his tough appearance, has a polite personality and is very good-natured, using honorifics even to challenge her. In this issue, we introduced the backstories of trainers in Pokemon. Many of you may have come to like them more and more after learning their backstories. If you have any unique or gaping backstories of trainers that we did not introduce here, we would be happy to hear about them in the comments. If you are fascinated by the gaps between the trainers, please subscribe to our channel and give us a high rating. See you next time.